Thank you. Please turn on your camera. Thank you. Please turn on your camera. Thank you. Please turn on your camera. Thank you. All right. Today we're going to continue where we stopped last week. And we are kind of complete a couple of questions, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Usually I'm not wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, who is not here? Okay, let's go through the questions. We have done source A, Hannah, and oh, thank you, Hannah. See and can see and turn already. Thank you. Hi, Jihan. As we have went through the two questions, the question 1 and 2. Who else not here? Wait. Okay, we went through question A and B, question 1 and 2. We done the inference. We also done the comparison. Now we are doing the source D, the useful question. Please pay attention to this question, are very important. Confirm you will come out in exam, whether useful or reliability confirm. Especially the question number 3 and 4. Okay. So let's go to question 3 and 4. Point. Okay, 80%. So study source D. How useful is this source has evidence on the challenge to reduce dependence on fossil fuel? I explain your answer. So as we went through, just a quick one. Please spend about 1 minute to read this. You have it done? Hannah, Xing and Qihan and Yijia and Qingzi. Okay? Okay? Done, huh? So now with the Israel and Hamas war ended soon, and hopefully with the Russia and Ukraine war ended soon, would it be a good thing to say that will these fossil fuels like the energy, will it be back to normal and the life of the people will be back to normal and the world will be back to the 3P, more peaceful, more productive, and also be a more not say perfect, but performs to according to what the past decades ago the world wanted, or 20 years. But in fact, every 10, 20 years, you see, the war ended in ceasefire, right? Since the this what do you call this is Israel and Hamas. And now, which is Palestine, and now Pakistan and Afghanistan just started a fight. Why? May 1 May 了，一波未起，一波来. It seems like a never-ending story in the world that they cannot see eye to eyes. It's all fighting for what reason? Territory, treaty, not conflicts, or what else? Or trade. So treaty. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at, okay, done already. Yeah. So this is our pictures. Yeah, I think most of you last week got it very good, very accurate. As you know that I say, right, this is in Chinese word. By right, they should have a Chinese explanation here rather than put this. I don't think it's fair for students. I will have complained seriously. Okay, to say that what does this mean here? Okay, you must have put these legends and to say explain this one. So this is source A. There's a quick one. Okay. So this source A is definitely negative. It's a hypocrite and it's also not according to what uh, the real world wanted. I think CN gives a very few strong words. I can't remember which word you use already. Yeah. All right. So source B, as you've done in the survey, right? Because yeah, Xian, you even correct me. I don't think you're correct, Uncle Raymond, because it's a survey. So yes, thank you. Okay, I even highlighted this. I admit it. Thank you for that. Uh, and now we'll talk about source. Where is it? Source D. How come not source C? Is there any source C? Let's see. Oh, it never oh yeah, because it compared. So every source are comparing. Every source will take into considerations for this practices or even in your real exam. Okay, so now we talk about source D. Let's look at source D. Okay, I'm not going to read. You are supposed to read and then you're supposed to do this. So please pay attention, read this one first. Now, first of all, who is Gupta? Okay, he's an Indian guy. He's a CEO of Development Bank of Singapore. Is from India. Indian guy from India, and his 1 month, no, not 1 month, sorry. I heard 1 year salary is about more than $2.5 million. Sing dollars, $2.5 million Sing dollars. Wow. Wow, wow. Really, the what do you call, 吃不完 and someone on top, he has all the shares and he has a lot of, wow, a lot of things. Recently, was it beginning of this year, he just retired from DBS, and the new CEO is a lady who took over. Okay. He's a very smart guy who made DBS one of the best bank in the world. Okay. Please read that because you're going to do practices. It's to see whether I can detect how you do it. And remember, the question is asking for useful and not useful. Okay, done. So now what I need to do is, of course, we don't look at source A. Source A is very straightforward. Okay. So now because I'm worried that's not enough, can I bring this up now? Oh, there's still more sources. Oh gosh. So okay. I'm not going to how to do it, but can I do two sources like that side by side? Would it be better? Or should I put if you need to cross-referencing, of course, okay, never mind. I will put it like that, and I'm going to give you the questions itself. Question D, right? Okay. So you know how to do this, okay? Where is my control C? Okay, where is my, okay, yeah, the check. Okay, I send the question to you. Then I also send the question source E lah. Wait I make it bigger for you. So in case you need to do cross-referencing for using this source D. So yeah, there you are. You send now. Okay. So remember the question asks about how useful is this source as evidence on the challenge to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. So source A is negative. Source B, did I go through it? B is also, I forgot to say, I think it should be negative also, right? And then source C, from an article published in American University. So what is the purpose, agenda? Source D is by this local DBS CEO of the DBS bank. And source E is from the online, okay, Yale University. So when you realize that American University and Yale University against, this seems like the two American university. So what is the purpose of telling it? Did we go through European Institute? Did we go through Did we go through all the sources? I can't remember. Did we? Hannah, everyone, can you remember? Jihan, any idea? If not, then I go through again, just for your benefits. So oh yeah, this one I think I go through already. I remember. So far, okay, I think this one maybe not. DBS released the decarbonization targets in the most carbon intensive sector is finance as part of meeting its pledge to be net zero by 2050. So far, I've been encouraged by what this CEO said. We have reached out to thousands of clients to make sure that what we are committing to is not unrealistic and that people are aligned to that. So aligned to what thing that is referring to what? To these decarbonizations or what? Printing less paper, giving up the letters to their clients. People are beginning to recognize that the over reliance on fossil fuels is a challenge. What got to do with a bank and got to do with the fossil fuel? So without a doubt, if you ask me over 5 to 10 years time period, I think this energy crisis is a blessing. Why is it a blessing? Why do you think this is a blessing to not just in Singapore? Because this is a bank in Singapore, right? So you see, from an interview with this person in Straits Times is Singapore local news, 2022. This is where after the entire, this one, 2022 February, okay, here. Okay, it's February 2020. This is also got to do with the crisis. So immediately, this is after the war, right? During no, after not after the war. The war started in February, and this is February. And here you are. People want to reduce concentration of fossil fuel, and it accelerates the process. Okay. But in 0 to 5 years from now, you might see some backstepping, which is no good. Backstepping, which is no good. He say pointing to Germany. Why Germany and Britain? And other looking to source more coal, and other looking to source more coal and gas bridge the lost supplies from Russia, especially ahead of winter. So this is September. Winter is coming, right? So he's giving the speech to preempt people who are in the Europe country. But why he point this to Germany and Britain and other looking? So are they Germany? Of course, if you study geography, they're not much of the natural resources compared to Britain, not Brazil. I read Britain, but my mind is Brazil. So sorry. So you realize these are the countries are getting towards their winters, and therefore they need to burn more fossil fuel in order to keep themselves warm. I mean, if you go to Europe, stay, you should know, winter time. So it's very cold. So what does the purpose of this speech given by Mr. Gupta? Is it encouraging tones, or is it negative tones, or is it positive tone, or is it neutral? I'm just telling you only, okay? I'm just making a stand. I'm telling you a lot of these things here based on my DBS things, but also referring to this. So what is the purpose? Oh, very good, huh? Or this person who using this to cross-referencing is very useful. So from an online report by Yale University based in American system. Okay, so it's after 1 year later, guys. 1 year later that this one, right? You see the war, right? Alternative means okay. Where am I? Okay. But define the worst of projections, Europe's make it through the midwinter with remarkably few casualties. What do you mean by few casualties? That means people die in the winter because of no fossil fuel to keep them warm. Oh my God. And even with a few big winds to his credit, what kind of winds are we talking about? You mean they find the alternative to keep themselves away from winter, or what? What is it? Okay. The efforts may have displaced Europe's climate ambitions by a fraction. Oh, wow, a fraction only. With 17 of Europe's both coal plants producing 60 million tons of carbon dioxide in 2020. But thanks to a record rollout of its green energy sources combined with conservation measure. So what measure are we talking about here? Take note, okay, the measures can be talking about using alternative beside fossil fuels. The continent's emission. When we talk about the continent emissions footprints, actually competition in Europe is actually the continent is referring to Europe, right? To remain within reach of its goal to slash emissions of at least 55% of the 7-year time. In a year when world emissions edge upwards, Europe is now on track to completely outpace its pledge to generate 40% of its total energy from green source by 2030. I hope you did not record. Thanks for what I say. Okay, come. So there you are. So that's E, right? So in a year when the world emission HR is will say hopefully it can save up to 40%. Let's see, let's see. Until now, they do not do much progress. Like every time when it comes to winter, they have a lot of bullshit to talk about it, in my opinion. Okay, so from an article in the American newspaper, Bloomberg. Where am I? Just give me a minute now, guys. This one was Yale University. This one was American University. So both are American University. You realize that, both are American University. And America is not in Europe. Please. America is North America. When you say America, it's also quite very vague. This America itself, we are talking about United States of America, or as in North or South America. Seriously, for the article published in an American newspaper, Bloomberg. Okay, we all know Bloomberg. If you do not know, Bloomberg is a very, very important news platform for people to talk about shares, stock markets, and also talk about how trading, all these, the moving up and down of the share markets. And these Bloombergs, yeah, I do watch this quite often to understand the nature and also for my own knowledge and teaching. So Europe is taking a gamble as it moves to ban Russian coal. Okay, so this they're making a big mistake, or not a mistake, or really advocate to support Ukraine or not, leaving itself exposed to shortages and blackouts while the rest of the world contents will surging prices. Okay, you want to boycott, right? You don't take Russian, but don't forget that the other place, what are you going to do about it? Just because you want to advocate green, but at the end of the day, are you taking from Russia oil, fossil fuel, or are you going to look for alternative just to make sure your fellow countrymen, citizens are able to go through the winter's part of it? You realize, girls and boys leaders, you realize this is like no big deal, but it is very big deal, because eventually if you study, I always keep emphasizing in the real world you study, this will affect. That's why Bloomberg is saying this. Give me a minute. Okay, who else coming? Okay, wait, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm marking attendance, sorry. So this Bloomberg is actually a lot of business people, world leaders or whoever will usually watch this Bloomberg. Please Google it. Okay, and if you want to know more in econs next time, you should watch this. A lot of people listen to Bloomberg News, all these news to understand the stock market. Okay, so let's go back to this one here. Okay, let me repeat again now. Okay, Europe is taking a gamble as it moved to ban Russian coal, leaving itself exposed to shortages and blackouts while the rest of the world contends with surging prices. So because of that, other players will start to, it's about demand and supply, okay? Russia is Europe's top supplier of coal for power station. Of course, you look at the world map, the whole entire Russia is so big and it's linked to Europe. And okay, it's understood that the pipe that run through the Europe is so straightforward. And which country usually go through Germany? As the European unions take a harder stance against Russia's war in Ukraine. Yeah, because Ukraine is part of Russia, Europe, right? And why the Europeans support Ukraine? Because they worried after if Russia attack Ukraine, the entire Europe will become dominated by Russian. And if you study history before or now, you know that some of the satellite countries like Hungary, Czechoslovakia, but now it's called Czech Republic, and Yugoslovakia, or all these countries, Poland used to be a communist country based on this East and West Berlin War, and now they got away. So they don't want once bitten, twice shy, that the Russia would do the same thing to annex and attack European, because even though Russian is a democratic countries, they still feel that I don't trust them based on historical reasons. Okay, so yeah, true enough. I don't think the Russia also trusts the European country as well. So the continent has plans to phase out Russian shipments. So because of this Ukraine war, you really see the true colors of both sides. Who is the evil? Who is the protagonist? Who is the antagonist? The problem is that there's no clear alternative for the huge chunks of trade. So you see, every war started with treaty. Every war started with treaty. Sorry, it's about treaty, like Treaty of Versailles. It's about trade, the tariff, and it's about territory. So this treaty, and of course, if you want to talk about another T, is tourism. Okay, fair enough. And also the next one will be technology, the 5T. Okay, and the result appears, where am I? Sorry, I lost. Okay, here. And the result appears destined to leads to a domino effects. Wow, when you see this word domino effect, means good luck to you. It's going to be like the Great Depression, the hyper inflations, that kind of, or even like COVID-19. When you have domino effects, it means that no one is being spared to live soundly and peacefully. Definitely there will be some hiccup and some bad things coming about. That creates a map global scupper for the few. Confirm. The worst still is Singapore. Singapore will definitely affect the most, with prices jumping 40% after news of the proposed ban. Russia's closeness to Europe has been one of its advantages in a market that depends on day-long shipments of heavy cargoes. Now, European buyers will have to look elsewhere. When you say European buyers, means the person who buy the oil, lah, the fossil fuel, right? Elsewhere, where? Where? Saudi Arabia, lah, of course. But hello, excuse me, if you want Saudi Arabia to ship oil to Europe, you know how much expensive it is. You have to go through a lot of things, and imagine halfway through you got pirates, you got war, you got a bad weather. You know how tough it is. Whereas in Russia, it's just only the pipe leading through it, only a pipe just go through it. So easy, right? Okay, but sad lah. Okay, so where am I? We'll have to look elsewhere, stretching supplies from countries as far as South Africa, Australia, and Indonesia, where quality varies. So the same thing goes to 记得那时, was it 晴 or Tina? You know, last time when COVID-19, Singapore was being banned from Malaysia to have 鸡蛋. Do you know about that? Malaysia don't want to sell 鸡蛋 to us. So we have to find alternative to buy 鸡蛋, and it was so expensive. So Malaysia thought of, can not say boycott lah. Honestly, I would use the word boycott. Want to play punk with us, say, okay, now the price of egg rise higher. Then they thought Singapore will suffer, right? Because we are the consumer. But we are not stupid. We went to other part. You don't believe, you Google it lah. Because Antenna also challenged me. Are you sure not? Yes, it's 鸡蛋. So the governments went to other places to look for alternative to supplement this aid from Malaysia. And honestly, Qingzi, Jihan, Yijia, Hannah, and Xingyuan, the person who suffer most is not Singaporean, it's the Malaysian farmer. So because of that, they cannot sell. And sadly to say, majority of them, if they increase the price, they will affect their local market as well. 以其人之道什么怎么讲啊？金子以其人之道还其人之心啊，something like that, right? You ask for it 啦，你以为我们就是这样咯？那时候有一个也是这样，那个 previous prime minister say, okay, now I want to increase your water, increase never mind, I come out new water. They say, let's talk about it. And worse still, they want to sell us sand, S-A-N-D, sand 就是做屋子嘛。The Malaysia say, I don't want to sell you sand. Okay, you don't want never mind. Hello, Indonesia. They always like to do these type of things to us. Seriously, I don't know why these people, they think 我们是小国好欺负. But honestly, how long it lasts Singapore like that? It all depends on your generation now. Seriously. And also depend on your children and grandchildren generations. Will Singapore last for another 50 years? Yes, definitely you will, because of you guys are around. But will Singapore last for another 100 years? 50% discount, sorry. I don't think Singapore can last for 200 or more, in my opinions. Okay, a dynasty will never last more than a century. Only maybe Venice, from my experience, that was taught in social study. Okay, so we have all the facts here, sources here. So from an article published in American newspaper Bloomberg. So is it positive or negative? Obviously, I find that it's very negative and neutral. How about this one? Is quite negative, right? To say that, wow, that means 牵着鼻子走，一定要用 Russian oil. So now is it useful now based on this one here? Especially the last part here. Is it possible? Now, guys, I've explained, so I hope you guys can kindly refer to your sources. So I print screen the source E and F. So what you can do now is okay, this one no need to talk about. This is a picture lah. Can tell so this is a cartoon. So we this one I put it here. And I also send you the question, right? And the source E and F. So please kindly do this question now. Thank you. Because after this, we still got another question to do. Hopefully you can cover source E and F. Having read source E, are you surprised with source F? See, I already give you a very big hint for these two sources already. So you realize the pattern is SS exam. Most likely they always like to do this. Okay, take note, take note. Take note. If you really very, very hardworking, as I do a few students like that, they literally dig out their past exam paper from their school and say, yeah, Uncle Raymond, there's really a pattern like that. So on. I'm not saying 100% I'm correct, but this is my experience from the past. So now let's do source D. Please give me a good answer. Remember, leaders, children, please do useful and not useful. And then, of course, Ihan, I leave it to you, the high level one, right? It is useful because It is not useful because the like okay, something like that. Thank you very much. Hey, wait, I would like to apologize. It's backstepping, not backstepping, not step the back. This step backstepping is to move back a few steps. Sorry, I read wrongly. It's step 退后，不是从你的背后捅你几刀那个捅啊，我看错啊。It's backstepping, not backstepping. Okay, sorry. I just realized. I just realized that this one. Okay. So the word backstepping means that in order to move forward now, is it possible to really fulfill the dreams of 2030 or 2050 with this situation like this? Will it be helpful? Will it be able to advocate and materialize and work on it? By right, you only can spend the maximum 15 minutes because it's a 7 marks question. It's by right 14 minutes, not more than that. If it's more than that, you're going to overrun the other questions. And then you're going to overspend another few minutes on the other question. You're going to overrun the next few questions. My advice is instead of typing, since you're writing in your exam, why don't you write? Write down, practice your writing. Okay. Rather than you type, seriously. Okay. Of course, I leave it to you. Then you write ready, then you can start typing if you want to. Or if not, you can send the picture to me. Take a picture and send to WhatsApp if you want to. See, okay, Yijia, okay, Xia, okay, Hannah, okay? Yes, both of you are all writing, Qingzhe, I know you can see you writing. Okay. Are you typing on your iPad, Hannah? The laptop, is it? Is it a laptop? Blue color. Oh, okay. I thought usually girl like pink. Okay. Because my laptop is also blue color. No, gray color. No, I got one laptop is pink color. Because it's called Pink of Hell. Okay, I can have the most 4 minutes to go, right? Guys, come on. We got another next one. That one is more trickier than this one. I cannot be quiet. If I keep quiet, I'm very OCD and ADHD. So I need to move. Whoa! I like that, Chihan. I like the way you say has vested interest in presenting his company in a positive light to Singaporean citizen. Actually, Singaporean can really no need to put citizen. You know why, Chihan? Because he's earning money from us. If you say bad thing, his bonus will be gone. I like the way your Shipley's and shirt smile, same at my, like the Grims, like honestly, I'm not against anybody, but I just don't like his face. Sorry. Not because he's Indian. More possible, okay. Very good. But what about the useful, Jihan? You're typing, I hope.
Uh, uh,
No,
no.
you're not doing the source, you're not doing the useful. Then
Uh,
sorry, not me, your teacher the examiner will not give you 7 marks.
no, that's not how it works, Lao Shi. Let me enlighten you on the
I know,
grading.
I know what you say. I know
Yeah.
because the last few sentences, yes.
If you say vested interest is already also considered a like higher level also.
Correct, that's why I know what you say.
Yeah.
But I did not say I disagree you, right?
Yeah.
Correct now. I don't say,
Like
oh,
no, because that's how like if you
no, you're not wrong. That's why I
I
say,
just don't like to say that it's useful after like saying blatant outright that it's already not useful. Like if my first paragraph was that, my first paragraph would usually be content, but then exam no time, so I just go straight into just
Okay.
gamble, then see
Ah,
how. Yeah.
finally, you use my word gamble. That's why I say unless you want to take the risk, not you, unless you're so freaking not you again, unless that person is so freaking confident that you go to the L4, the last part of it. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't say your answer is wrong. I'm just saying why
Yeah.
you did not use not useful. I mean, but
Uh,
no, why don't you talk about useful at the same time? Since if let's say
uh
time, wait, let me explain. If
okay.
you time, if you think it's good. But if it's up to you, it's up to any one of you here. I'm not against it. Okay. But I know the person are being trained to say useful and not useful and the third paragraph. The reason why is here, you have to understand in exam, but I'm helping my student, any one of you. You will know why. If I got time next time when you go to JC or further study, you'll understand why you have to do that. Because you see, in thesis, in the real writing in higher level, it is good to bring both two sides of the view. You understand me? It's okay for exam. I won't say I wouldn't mark you wrong. That's why I say some teacher may give you not higher marks. Very funny one. I don't understand why. Not you and me, yeah. It's how the person mark. You are so lucky you person mark. Oh my goodness! 6 marks straight away. Or even full marks. True or not? You get me? I know some school are trained to go like that. Totally. I rather that your school train like that is okay. Some school say, never mind lah. I don't think you can do the higher level of writing. So you just say useful and not useful lor. In back of the mind of the teachers these teachers are to me is quite idiot lah. Thinking that student cannot write higher level. You know what I mean, Jihan? Okay, I'm not. It's definitely not your school. I'm saying other school. I have a fair share of all the students I've been teaching for 10 over years. There are some students most of the students tell me, my teacher never teach me that side. They only tell me useful and not useful only. 明白我意思吗？So when there's some of them last few, I have enough fresh air of student. How come my teacher never say that can go straight to the point? I say, no, you don't do that. You're not too capable. You follow the useful, not useful, and then the third paragraph, okay, please, tolong in Malay, chu chu ni. 你明白我意思哦，齐汉? Okay, thank you. So I think you all heard what Qing Han and I and Uncle Raymond argue until we got fighting, got blood coming out our nose. And the shitty stuff on me. Okay, I like that, Qing Han. I think it's good that next time you can become a prosecutor or lawyers or debaters. I like
Ah,
teaching trained student like this.
I just go professors or some shit. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're good in chemistry. Yes, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Hannah, I pray that he will not make bombs. I hope you don't start with a T also, end with a T, inside got double R, with terror and error and Shh. Hannah, only you can hear me, the rest cannot hear me. You become a terrorist. Chingham. Okay, I don't use the word Malay words on whatever. Okay, just kidding. Okay, next is Sian. Okay. I'm reading halfway of the code as European countries like Germany and Britain. Wait, you bias Britain you put capital B and then Germany you put small g. You don't like Germany, is it? Thank you, Xing. So are you going to be the same like Professor Tihan? You're not going to talk about not useful? Xing, unmute.
No,
You're
I
still typing.
yeah.
Thank you. There, you see Tihan?
If you know, because right in my prelim, right, I go and write one content, then one higher level. Then after that, my last question I only managed to write my SRQ I only managed to write one paragraph. Then like I got 3, but then my highest level got accepted. So like it's better to just gamble instead of lose the mark at the end. Because
No, sorry,
yeah,
Xian,
yeah.
Xian, after listening to you and been teaching you, or don't say teaching you, I've been mentoring you, the word nicer, mentoring you for the past few months. I know your ability and capability to answer HA, higher ability questions, HAQ, or which I call HAA, higher ability answer, is no doubt you can do it. But the thing is, honestly, I pray hard because you can do that. It's prelim, it's practice here. But honestly, when you come to exam, I'm just worried. You know what I mean? You get me saying, 我只是要买一个保险 okay? I hope you understand. Because
Yeah, but SRQ a lot of
yes,
marks.
yes, yeah,
SRQ I bought my SRQ so much, yeah.
I know why, ladies and gentlemen, because your time management, you don't have a regular practice papers. Back in those days, I forced my student.
My writing speed is slow.
No, my nephew and my godson say sorry because if I write too slow, write nicely, I will sure cannot complete on time. So I must scribble like a doctor's handwriting. But my goodness, I always F them. I say, fine. I really F them. I say, because of that, I don't know what the hell are you writing. Then end up, I don't know what you're saying. It's so vague. It's so ambiguous. It's so fake. So I don't know what is the answer you're giving to me. Then it's 弄巧反拙 already. So it's seriously. And now what happened? I think the next few years, your junior, all of you, your junior might be typing already. And I heard set one also in Chinese, they are typing. And that's not a good thing, no. Even though the MOE analyze in the way they're giving the situation by typing, it's true. Most of the time, our life, in fact, Uncle Raymond's, everything is all typing on keyboard. But that depletes the purpose of not writing, in my opinion. It's just like now a lot of WeChat, right? Hannah, I think you all go to China, Taiwan. Actually, I was thinking end of this year going Taiwan. Is it very cold in Taichung? Is it? No, because of mommy cannot go to Korea too cold. So I was suggesting, I went to Taipei before. I was thinking Kaohsiung and the other side of Taiwan. Is it okay, the weather? Since you are Taiwanese? You don't know. You have not been in Taiwan for a while. You never visit your grandparents in Taiwan. Don't smile at me. Just tell me yes or no. Is it snowing? I don't think it's snowing, right? No snowing. Okay. The temperature is about 10, 13, 14, 18, right? Around there, right? Okay. Let's see how it goes. Anyway, thank you. So Tian, I leave it to you, huh? So if you say got no time for SRQ, is not true, lah. In fact, now you can practice. The best part now is your paper 1 and 2 English on Thursday. Is the best part for time management. Because you guys has been, I think research on psychology has shows that this generation use keyboard most of the time. The previous batch, many batch, you ask them to use keyboard, they will screw up, they cannot. But slowly, surely now the generation has definitely changed into keyboard warrior already. I don't blame you all, please. It's not your fault. Seriously, I don't blame you all. Oh, thank you, Hannah.
Wait, but N level SS is typed out, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, this discrimination.
No. Wait. Let me finish this and then I get back to this answer. I first I feel like you know. Wait. Let me read Hannah answer first. Okay, thank you, Hannah. I'm reading the next one. This is supported by cross-referencing the source F, which shows that source F. Okay. So, Hannah, are you same with Tihan also not talking about the other one not useful? Are you still typing? Wait, can you unmute, please? So what is your take, my dear? You say useful, right? So are you not going to say not useful?
No.
啊，哎，你不要笑我嘞！No， Please take the IDK away forever in you. Don't say I don't know. Don't say let me think about it. Well, I think that's all. Don't I don't know. Don't ever once you have don't know, this is like very addiction, like parasite attacking your brain. Please don't. Especially coming exam, don't use the word I don't know. You will surely all the thing you don't know already.
Oh, oh,
No, tell me yes or no only. That's all straightforward.
no.
Not going to not you're not going to continue the not useful lah, 对吗? Okay, thank you. Okay, I know where you come from already, Hannah. I think I read through. Okay, thank you, Xingye. So to answer your question, Qing Han, I feel that the discrimination or not fair is to the G2 NA student, Qing Han. I feel that they are taking them as a guinea pigs to test out whether typing keyboard is okay or not. Because most of the G2, you should know, G2 and G1 students, their handwritings majority through their experience is really CNMI, cannot make it. Okay, really the handwriting. So in order to save the examiner woes and worries, so they might convert it to typing. It's easier for them to read and easier for them to mark. And because most majority, maybe based on their research and experiments, they realize that most of the G2 students, they know what they are writing, they know what is their contextual and general knowledge about social study. But when they write, maybe three reasons, spelling and scribbling, don't know what they write. And thirdly, they just like the handwriting is so difficult to read, therefore they decided to put into a computer and type. Even when they type, they also can type wrongly the spelling. So okay, at least the examiner know, oh, this is the word. Like for example, Apple got APPLE, they put APLE, so roughly they know. But when they write on a piece of paper, when they write APLE, or maybe the words turn out to be some other thing, so end up they reduce the level of marking scheme. That's what I feel. Okay, Yijia and the rest, so Qing Han, Hannah, and Zhongheng. But Xingyuan, you finished already, That's all right. Xingyuan. Xingyuan. No, don't send to me separately, Qingzhen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks. Oh, you just send to the group chat can already. So while waiting for them, look at question number 4 lah. So let's do a question number 4. Having read this, it is surprise. Okay, so I think I also send to the Zoom chat. So those of you have finished question number 3, you can do number 4, okay? Yijiao, when you finish, right, may return to fossil fuels when faced with supply shortages, right? See, okay, then you by right lah, you should put a full stop. This can be seen, full stop. This can be seen in Germany and Britain. And then you no need put stop. Okay, then you put a full stop. Oh yeah, okay, you continue. Okay, then might just leave it there. There is no full stop. Then this is supported by source F. Okay, I'm reading. So the same, you're not going to talk about not useful, right? Are you? Are you going to talk about not useful, Ijia? Can answer me? Can you type in the Zoom chat yes or no? No. Okay, thank you. No left. Ting Zi, are you done? If you are sending me by the
Yeah, wait, I'm done. I'm done sending you with
to
WhatsApp.
what to WhatsApp
Because I can't send it in the chat. I don't have the
Oh yeah, okay,
open
send me
thing.
to WhatsApp. So I got to show the answer already.
Okay, okay.
Okay, can thank you. So you don't mind Are you done? You sent already?
Yeah. Can see?
No, I didn't receive. Okay,
Yeah, I
just
think so.
adjust.
Okay, okay.
Whoa, my goodness, so long. Okay, 我等一下才读好吗？
Can.
我再帮你改好，如果可以有时间。Okay, source D is useful. Okay, may I have Xingyuan, can you read L1 and L2 for me the answer?
Source D is useful as it states that, so without a doubt, if you ask me over a 5 to 10 years time period, I think this energy crisis is a great blessing. People will want to reduce the concentration, reduce the volatility of fossil fuels, and it will accelerate the process.
Okay, this is 1 mark. How about 3 marks?
Source D is useful as it's claimed that there has been progress to reduce dependence on fossil fuels in the long term. Source D states that, so without a doubt, if you ask me over a 5 to 10 year period, I think this energy crisis is a great blessing. People will want to reduce the concentration of fossil fuel and it will accelerate the process. This means that the countries are more determined to reduce the reliance on fossil fuels.
And the answer is reliance. So useful as country may be backtrack on their pledge to increase dependence on use. Okay, so source D?
Source D
Sorry. Okay, sorry. Come.
Source D is useful as it claims countries may increase their usage of other fossil fuels in the short term to minimize reliance on Russian fossil fuels.
So some of you have thought about this. Well done. Carry on.
Source D states that, but in 0 to 5 years from now, you might see some backstabbing, he said, pointing to Germany, Britain, and others looking to source more coal and gas to bridge the lost gas supplies from Russia, especially ahead of winter. This means that local needs are still main priority ahead of environmental needs.
Yeah, I just keep emphasizing on winter, but correct me if I'm wrong. None of you talk about the ahead of winter. Correct me if I'm wrong. But most of you have thought about this part here. Okay, well done. But not in the winter. This winter really make a difference in your answer, in my opinion. So thank you. Next one will be my Qihan, can you read this source, this? Which is the so-called quite okay, carry on.
Source D is reliable and useful as it is objective. He states why there will be reduced dependence on fossil fuels, while also voicing concerns that fossil fuel usage will increase in 0 to 5 years. Source D says that, so without a doubt, if you ask me over a 5 to 10 year time period, I think this energy crisis is a great blessing. People will want to reduce the concentration of fossil fuels and accelerate the process. This means that countries are more determined to reduce the reliance on fossil fuels. Therefore, however, he also stated that by in 0 to 5 years from now, you might see some backstepping. He said, pointing to Germany, Britain, and others looking to source more coal and gas to bridge the lost gas supplies from Russia, especially ahead of winter. This means that local needs are still the main priority ahead of environmental needs. Hence, source D is objective as it explains why it can and cannot be a challenge.
Very similar to your answer. Thank you.
No, I say not useful.
Yeah, I mean, Correct, but it's similar to what he said useful lah. You're not useful, similar in the way they answer. I'm not saying this is a same answer, similar to your answer on that. Okay, may I have again who Yitia, can you able to read this one? Oh, you have to do your mic, huh? Okay, so I read first, never mind, because I don't want to take too much time. Source D is reliable and useful across cross-reference to source B. Wow, he used source B instead of other source. Okay, let's how. Both sources reflect increased optimism, among people to reduce the use of fossil fuel. Okay, because he's talking about useful, fair enough. It is shown in B that according to the respondents in the survey, the support for policy to reduce fossil fuels strongly increased due to the war in Ukraine. Now, 62% support the freeze out of fossil fuel by 2050. This means that there's an increased openness to using green energy due to Ukraine war. Okay, fair enough. Disagree with these views that people are starting to support that reductions of the concentrations and unpredictably of fossil fuels. Hence, source D is reliable and useful. So similar to yours, Ting-Han, but I know you are not useful. Okay, the way you answer, okay? So you are somewhere there in this part. I mean, this is useful, but your answer is similar, something like that. Hannah, your turn, please.
Source D is reliable and useful as it highlights the dilemma surrounding banks' profitability. As the chief executive of DBS Bank, Gupta is directly accountable to the profits of the company, while there is increased public sentiment on a reduced dependence on fossil fuels. People are not willing to pay more or sacrifice their comfort. This highlights why banks will continue to fund fossil fuel projects to maintain profitability. Hence, he's objective in stating that. So, without a doubt, if you ask me over a 5 to 10 year time period, I think this energy crisis is a great blessing. People will want to reduce the concentration of fossil fuels and it will accelerate the process. This means that countries are more determined to reduce the reliance on fossil fuels. However, he also said that but in 0 to 5 years from now, you might see some backstepping. He said, pointing to Germany, Britain, and others looking to source more coal and gas to bridge the lost gas supplies from Russia, especially ahead of winter. This means that local needs are still main priority ahead of environment needs. Hence, Source D is reliable and useful.
Thank you. You realize you go back to the background information, sir. Where the hell is it? Yeah, you see? Here, I use this, here. Okay, here. The one I highlighted, So this, for the energy crisis, you realize for source D itself, I already used 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Or in fact, all of them. Instead of this division, I use all the 4. So it is important to highlight your background informations. Well, it will definitely help you to enforce and enhance and ensure that you're writing on the right statements. That's what I think most of you have done a great job. It's just that I'm very, very worried. You spend so much time writing. No, seriously. Now I understand why a lot of students say cannot do SRQ and SBQ. SRQ question 6 and 7. And back to you. May I have Qingzhe? Is it wait. I showed the wrong one. Wait, where's my answer? Wait, sorry. Sorry, where's okay, let's go, Qingzhe.
Source D is reliable and useful as it highlights companies' alignment to move from fossil fuels. DBS has been working on decarbonization as part of their green efforts. So the higher demand to move from fossil fuels is aligned to what they want. Despite him implying that
Stop. I don't like they put the word day one. Who is the day? For goodness sake, in exam, don't put day. Uncle, it's already stated 嘛，他就是讲这个了嘛 DBS 这个 You don't please my experience as a marker every time I mark 我可能会走火入魔，还是太过 concentrating So sometimes the day I'm mistaken, which are you referring to the DBS or the European or the Russian or the Ukrainians or the other country? So be more specific. Do not use the day. Okay, I keep emphasizing already. I don't like, seriously. If I mark when see this, I would definitely don't like. And if I don't like, I believe there are a lot of teachers like myself who are marking this, they also don't like. You are a lawyer, you're defending, and please don't use they, them, the people of which people, which country. Let's go.
Despite him implying that Europe was backtracking, it is
Now, you
just
see, him again. Who the hell is him? Understood what, Mr. Gupta? Then you put Mr. Gupta lah. Don't put him. Thank you.
It is just stating a fact that Europe may need to use more coal and gas in the short term to ensure survivability over winter, while European governments work out alternative sources of energy without Russia.
Now you understand why you say European government, they don't say they work out with alternative. If they put they, you might be thinking that which country. Same thing, like Mr. Grupa, because when you mark, you put more specific of the proper now, with a proper name given, we feel the smooth is there. Thank you. Carry on. This show.
This showed indeed that without a doubt, if you ask me over a 5 to 10 year time period, I think this energy crisis is a great blessing. People will want to reduce the concentration of fossil fuels, and it will accelerate the process. This means that countries are more determined to reduce the reliance on fossil fuels. However, he also said that but in 0 to 5 years from now, you might see some backstepping, he said, pointing to Germany, Britain, and others looking to source more coal and gas to bridge the lost gas supply from Russia, especially ahead of winter.
So Xian, you say not useful, right? This one you say useful only, you see? And you never thought about not useful. Huh? You realize that?
Yeah, but like it's SS is like it depends on person to person.
No. You
Yeah.
are right. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you're wrong. If this is a student, I will say yeah. You see, you understand, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, maybe Uncle Raymond is a 比较怕输怕死的一个老师，希望同学们可以用那个 proper methodology to do it 啦。OK， 不要误会说你一定死都要这样。我只是说 it's better to have. I'm not saying you cannot. You're stupid enough not to do this. No, I never do say that. But of course, you're so confident, go ahead. And because of that, Tia, it save you to do the SRQ. Yeah, strategy. Okay, I'm not saying you're wrong. Okay, let's do E now. Let's go. And we'll end. The answer must be given to me by 9:22. Let's go.
So what's the question?
Did I send?
You send the source, not the question.
I did. Okay, like 有咧，好像有 send. Wait. Okay. Yeah, same thing. Surprise or not surprise, useful or not useful, reliable or not reliable, agree or not agree, shock or no shock, proof or not proof. Give me a minute. If you want to cross-referencing with B and C, okay, I take a pictures first, guys. Don't mind. Okay. I got a timing, 9:22, you must submit your answer already. So it's time management questions. And of course, sorry, I give you the background information as well. It's very useful. Okay. So yeah, okay, let's go. So once this one done, next week we'll do the 10 marks one, and then we'll continue to do other paper. Okay, I'm reading your answer, Qingzhen, now. Give me a while. Eh呦，金子，我又跟你讲不要放 day 嘛 ，day will presumably start action. Who is the day? Remember this, don't put the day. Take note, okay, I'm looking, I'm using my handphone to read. So the fossil fuel day, are you referring to the European countries or to the Russians or to Ukraine or to Singapore? Well, lucky you mentioned ahead of winter. Sorry, because I did not read your message just now. So I'll take back my word. Sorry. Well done. This shows that there is still challenge existing to address the fossil fuel problem as people still need to use fossil fuels in the winter to keep warm, a necessity that cannot be solved easily. Well done. Yeah, further the worsen current situation of what? Of fossil fuel, the price, okay? This is 青色。你懂我在讲什么啊？Okay, sorry 啊，不用紧 continue writing please. You got exactly 5 minutes to go. And therefore pose a challenge for the world to attempt to have the target of 2030 or 2050, right? Yes. You should end like that. Okay. Oh, I think well done. It's at least about 5-6 marks for that questions. If you ask me why you cannot get 7 marks, because I cannot give you 7 marks. Unless your answer is super duper good. I'm not saying your answer is no good. My expectation is higher, sorry. The majority got 6 marks. If this is someone, yeah, 6. Okay, come. You still got 3 minutes. Very good, Xingen. I'm reading the one. Not confident Europe to survive. May cause an economic, not economic, an economic crisis in Europe. Why you like to put which cause Europe do not survive? Usually it's like which cause Europe not to survive in the winter. Okay, good. So are you just like, I think you're going to write, I'm not surprised. Thank you, Singer. You got 1 minute plus to go. I give you one more extra minute. Very good, Hannah. I like the start. Straight to the point, 一针见血. Wow, good. You're using the codes to counter attack, Hannah? Does not talk about how there are alternative energy, okay? Oh, okay. You cross-reference using the fossil fuels for source B. Smart girl. Okay. Since source B supports source E, and therefore you must use the magic word now, Anna. Hence, thus, and therefore contradict source F. Or you can say and contradict source F full stop. Therefore, I'm surprised by source F. Same thing, you only surprise, not surprise me. You don't put not surprise, right, Anna? You're not gonna put not surprise, you just only surprise only. Or you can hold hand together already with Chihan already. You all two only say one-sided one. Okay, it's okay. Wow, who sent this so long? Chihan again, same you only say one-sided again, All right, man, you're using prominence, smart boy. Your teacher has trained you very well. I think you have a big competition in your O-level exam when the markers marking your school. I like the way you say. For Tiana, the last sentence of the first paragraph itself, you say that to reduce its dependence on fossil fuels and Russia's supplies of fossil fuels, suggesting what? Who is suggesting? Okay, you must put something source B or a source E or source whatever. Source what? Suggesting that Europe is able to adapt to challenges over time. Wow, good. Good. I say good because you say published on the 6th of April 2022, stating that now the European has elsewhere stretching blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm reading the code now. I just scan through the code, take a more pessimistic stance. Using adjective to describe well done. I would say showing Europe is in a difficult, Jihan, difficult and a dilemma positions. Oh, wow, you get the trick of it already, huh? Source E was published 9 months later after the source F, showing that the problem depleted in source F was temporary, which aligns, wow, with source F statements on Europe's later success, as source F was written earlier. It was written in a pessimistic view, which source E has benefit on the high side, therefore not surprised. And you're like doing chemistry, like first you put this solution A, then you put this solution B, then you pick up bubble, you got solution C. But the solution C, you can move on, but based on solution A, you see the reaction of solution B, and ultimately, eventually, solution C develop. I don't teach chemistry. I always kepo go around to the lab there and see my student last time do this and that. So as some memory. Okay, well done. Can ready lah. Your surprise question. Powderful enough. Not power, it's powder. Powderful enough. All right, thank you, Qing and Hannah and Xing and halfway. In fact, it's 29:27 already, guys. Overshot the timing already, huh? In actual fact, now you're already overshot and then you're already eaten out your other questions, especially your 10 marks. I do not know why you all like don't spend so much time on it. You know the time limit, do it like I agree, do it and dance and get it off and move on to the next question. Smart strategy, and smart strategy for Hannah too. Well done. 你一定要 let go 的，你不可以怕的，你怕是没有用的。You send me already, man? Oh, okay. Let me see, So, 晴子 send me already, Okay, let me see. 为什么你的这么短的？
Because I didn't quote, I just put ...
哦，你没有 code 就不可以，你有 code 吗？哪里没有 code？
I mean, I didn't write out the full quote, I had to put ... in the middle, because like,
对
I
咯，
didn't want to copy.
很好啊。You're supposed to do that in exam sometime, 我在读啊。Whoa, including the inflation of cost of coal. Smart move. I like that. Same thing, you only write surprise, but didn't write not surprise. So we left only Yijia and Xingyuan. Let me read Qingzi answer. Qingzi, myself, you read your answer.
Sure, I'm done.
Oh, so sorry, my dear. Where do you put? 有没？你只有第一个吗？你只是放 surprise 啊，你没有放 not surprise right?
Huh? Need to put not surprise I didn't know.
No. You can don't put not surprise, but you look at those questions. Yes, by right, it's better. I told you, agree or not agree, surprise or not surprise. Okay, yeah. The same as question D also. 秦志, we might read your answer.
Yeah, I'm that way. Okay. I am surprised with source F after reading source E as they contradict each other. Source F suggests that without Russia as a source for coal, Europe is facing a problem that has no solution. Source F states the problem is that there is no clear alternative after news of the proposed ban. This shows that Europe is still facing the problem of lack of coal after it declared that it will not continue to import coal from Russia. And this has a very negative influence on Europe itself, including the inflation of cost of coal. Source E contradicts this, however, by stating Europe made it through the mild winter to its credit. This shows that not only is Europe not affected, it has even gained much benefits to its own advantage. This contradicts with Source F's message of Europe being greatly affected and unable to solve the problem. Therefore, I am surprised with Source F after reading Source E.
Thank you. How about Yijia? Are you done? Yijia, you sent already? No, I didn't see your answer, so sorry. Did you send?
Oh, I accidentally deleted my paragraph.
Can you control Z no? Huh? Can you see your control Z? Can you bring back no? Can you see your control Z? Can you do the control Z? I'll move out the answer. Oh, sorry, If you can or not, I'm going to go through the answer now. Sorry. No worry, don't stress, please. Don't stress. When you are ready, send to me because I'm going to close the chat group, because it blocked my screen. Okay, let's read now. For 1 mark, is after reading E, I'm not surprised with F, as both are written in Europe. You see? Now you understand? Let me see E and F. E and F, you see? Americans, and you see, you realize that America. Okay, so yeah, this is also, well, like that also can. Yes, like that can. Because you're able to detect, correct now? The detection is there. All right, so let's move on to, where's my questions? Where's my answer? Sorry, no questions. I find source F to be surprising as it tells me that Europe was doing its best to reduce the use of Russian coal. All right. This is shown in F as Europe is taking a gamble. Oh, wow. As it moves to ban Russian coal. And it's true, the rest is history. What did Russia do to Europe? Leaving itself exposed to shortages and blackouts while the rest of the world contends with surging prices. That will be L2 2 marks like that. Well done for this teacher. Very to separate the answer. I find source F surprising as despite Europe's plans to sanction Russia for the invasion of Ukraine, it is doing so at great risk to their own power supply, which is important for the economy and the welfare for their European people during the winter time mostly. I'm not saying the rest of the autumn, summer, and spring not important. In fact, summer also need fossil fuel. Why? To have aircon. And remember, Italy or France, they don't really have aircons, certain parts of their countries. Now, having read source EF is not surprising. This is surprise. This is not surprising, as both sources agree that Europe is still using coal as a fossil fuels. It is shown in it that the efforts may have displaced Europe's climate ambitions by a fraction, with 17 of Europeans boasters with 17 of European boasted coal plants producing 60 million tons of carbon dioxide in 2022. You see? So I tell you already, the Europeans they talk about so much greenery, sustainability, eco-friendly solar power, you see. This means that coal was still a source of energy in Europe, rely on. They are the one who say must be climate friendly to reduce climate changes or global warming. Disagree with F views that now Europeans buyers will have to look elsewhere, stretching supplies from countries as far as South Africa, Australia, and Indonesia, where qualities varies. This means is that Europe had merely changed its supply for coal while not eliminating the use of it. So Russians supply coal as well as oil and gas, but because they need coal to burn, right, the fossil fuels, so to generate electricity for the during the winter time. So by the time Indonesia shipped the coal to there, ayo, I don't know how long they having read E, F is surprising. So same thing surprising. This is not surprising. It's surprising as they disagree on whether there was an alternative to coals, how they cope. The keyword is how they cope with the ban on Russian coal. In source E, the European officials say that but thanks to a record rollout of its green energy sources, combined with conservations, measure the continent's emissions footprints actually position Europe to remains within reach of its goal to slash emissions by at least 55% in 7 years' time. Not possible, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, this is my personal Uncle Raymond opinions. This means that they tap on green energy. You talk about, I'm not sure whether they will come out the EV car in your SS. However, source F shows it was difficult to replace coal as the problem is that there is no clear alternative, you see, but that huge chunk of trades. You see, another T again, the trade. Hence, they are still looking for other sources of coal. Now, Hannah and all of you listening here, and why I say not possible, you see, our Donald Trump start to talk about the tariff again. Okay, let me read this. After reading E, F is not surprising. After cross-referencing to D, you see both D and F agree that the Europe is still using coal as a fossil fuel, right? Just now you read D. This is shown in D that but in zero, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, until he say pointing to Germany here. I don't do the code here. Great Britain right here, same thing. And then sources more coal and gas to bridge the lost gas supply. See, gas. So now this is not about coal already, this is about gas from Russian. So if you're a geography student, good to you, well done, because you know what are the natural resources, the 5M, the manpower, the money, the material, one of them is called material, okay? The machines that runs the things, okay? And the what, and money, yes. Where is it? Oh my God, sorry, where am I? The loss of Russia, especially ahead of winter, right? This is a quote. This means that coal is needed for the survival of its citizens during winter. Who is the citizen? Excuse me. European citizens. It agrees that F feels that European buyers will still see. You see, they don't say buyers. They say which buyer, people, European buyers will still be looking elsewhere in other country. Okay, that is not surprising. Okay, let's talk about the last one. That most of you thinks that you want to use this to beef up your higher ability answer. After reading E, I find F is not surprising due to the context. Wow, some of you use context and prominence, well done, of Europe during the Russian-Ukraine war. That is the background information. So has the invasion started too abruptly? It's not only abruptly, I think to me it's quite pre-planned already. But okay, fair enough. European nations did have enough time and resources to replace all their fossil fuels generators. You see, it's a matter of time, the yes or no. So they are taking things for granted. You see, just like I told you already, right? When I unmute the recording, not unmute, I stopped the recording. Hence, you see the keyword comes out. Hence, they continue. Who is the they? Oh my goodness. Continue to use coal from other sources as it was. So hence the European, right, nation continue to use coal from other sources as it was the most cost-effective way to do it. No choice, as it reflects in F that was written just about 2 months into the war. Well done for Qihan and some of you using that. It is shown in F as now European buyers will have to look elsewhere, stretching supply from countries as far as South Africa, Australia, and Indonesia. Just for your knowledge, it's not only these 3 countries. They also look for other countries, like maybe in China, okay, and country in Brazil, I'm not sure Brazil they do, some of African country, of course, where qualities varies. This means that Europe needed coal urgently to prepare for the winter seasons. However, the context of of E was written about 11 months after source F. That's what you did right, Tihan? You get the trick already. The mild winter, sorry, it's not really mild, okay? And the increase in effects, in efforts pay off with less reliance on coal. This is shown in F as, but define the worst of projections. Europe might make it, though, the mild winter with remarkably few casualties. Are you sure can do that? This is not true. I feel that this is a bit biased in the sources. It says that maybe they are not telling the truth. They're hitting some agenda in it. And even with a few big wins to its credit, hence the rollout of wind efforts, grid energies saved them. And hence I'm not surprised with F. So Yijia, have you sent your answer already before I end the lesson? No, Yijia, you didn't send. You cannot find. Oh, you poor thing. Okay, Xing Yan, now you understand, all of you. I think I did mention just now, please pay attention again now. Whether when you ask you whether surprised or not surprised, let's go back to the questions again. Unless you're so confident to write that, it's fine with me. I'm okay with it. Okay, let's don't argue where is it. Okay, so for me, I'm still an old school of thoughts. So how useful? Like this one, useful and not useful, surprised or not surprised. I always use the old school of thoughts, surprised and not surprised, and then your high level of answering. But of course, if you want to skip one because of time reasons or whatever it is, and you're so confident, but whatever it is, I agree with Ting Han, no matter whether you write one surprise or not surprise, you still get at least 4 marks. To be honest, with the cross-referencing, if you are having cross-referencing and you are using, say, surprise only, and you don't talk about not surprise, or you talk about, say, useful, and then you don't talk about not useful, and then you have got cross-referencing, mostly 80 to 90%, you'll get 4 out of 6 marks. Okay, to be honest. Or maybe you're so good that you can get 5 marks. So you will not feel. But if you just say not surprised and you do not quote and you don't have cross-referencing, maybe
So
3
5 marks you need 2 paragraphs.
Yeah. Yeah, but maybe you only get 3 marks. Not necessary. Sometimes you know why not, Qing. Sometimes the student,
Unless your highest level is just you cross ref lah.
No,有
Then,
时候他们写的时候忘记 paragraphing 他们把它全部放在一起 That's the part that we examiner might forgot. Oh, what is this? So sometimes people, I've seen a lot. There are people who forgot to paragraph it. You are right. But some people just jump into one, and then if the examiner know, okay, this is the next reason, this is paragraph when we mark. You don't forget, the examiner don't just mark your paper. Average per day is about 60 to 80 or even near to 100 script. And it's from 9 to 5. Okay, so can you imagine only lunchtime they go for break and then continue work. Unless you're so lucky you're the first paper early in the morning. And then if you're the last paper, how? We do not know, right? Okay, so yes, I think we have a good practice today for the useful and not useful, surprise or not surprise. Next week, we're going to talk about this question, the 10 marks answer. 10 marks questions, and then of course with a new, of course, if you want to, we can go through these questions here from Qing Han. I like this question, very cute. I like this one, very cute. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll see you next Sunday.